Hello, everybody. I'm back for another 12 days of Christmas excerpt. And so, what is next on my list? How about Waiting for Christmas? This is a couple of years old. And this handsome hunk right there, yeah, I know him. Yeah, he belongs to me. My son was the cover model. Don't know who this beautiful chick is, but anyhow. So, without further ado, let's get started. Waiting for Christmas was inspired in by our 100 Neediest Families program that we have in St. Louis. So it was a pleasure to write this in honor of them. Okay, so I was looking for my other glasses, but at any rate, here we go. Chapter 1. Sterling Price was the epitome of magnificent. He commanded the lobby of her office with a bold presence and gentle smile. She couldn't look away as his features drew her in. A thick, untamed black beard, unblemished, rich milk chocolate skin, a perfect combination. His brown suit, a rarity these days, set him apart. Either it was tailor-made for him or he was the spokesman for the brand. Again, perfection. He was nothing like she had envisioned. He was very charitable. Not that Ciara had conjured up an image of him at all. For the past couple of weeks, Mr. Price's weekly contributions to help 100 families, a Christmas initiative that she spearheaded, had been like clockwork, online and via phone. Woo! Ciara was having a fan moment. She dismissed it. His eyes danced as a smile tugged at his lips. Bright white teeth captivated her. Good dental hygiene made her take a second look every time. Mr. Price, I'm Ciara. How can I help you today? She asked in a professional tone to keep from blushing. No drooling. Please call me Sterling. He took a step forward and towered over Ciara Summers, 5 feet 6 inches. Close enough for her to notice his brown eyes, as clear and unblemished as the marbles in her father's collection. I'm here to give my donation. Her nostrils took the liberty of inhaling his cologne, a blend of citrus and woozy. Don't get distracted, and we'll gladly accept it for our families on the list. I apologize, our website was down last time, but it has since been corrected, so your donations are safe. Sorry you had to make a special trip. He studied her. Why? I find this trip very rewarding. Her glaze captured his slow grin as he slipped one hand into his pants pocket and came out empty. No check? Since you assisted me before with my donation, why break our tradition? He shrugged off his coat as if he were staying. Tradition? They didn't have one. She had only spoken once to this handsome man, although she didn't know at the time that he was handsome over the phone. As a licensed social worker, Ciara was honored to be appointed to the board for the annual fundraiser. 2 months out of a year, this office was her hangout. Her background allowed her to bring awareness to the plight of others who could be experiencing life's hardships in plain sight and solicit funds on their behalf. Let me take a break. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, sorry about that. I thought my doorbell was about to ring, so I wanted to stop. But let me see, where did I pick up? Or let me just rewind. As a licensed social worker, Ciara was honored to be appointed to the board for the annual fundraiser. 2 months out of a year, this office was her hangout. I know you heard that before, but I had to pause. So, anyhow, her background allowed her to bring awareness to the plight of others who could be experiencing life's hardships in plain sight and solicit funds on their behalf. Helping with contributions was part of her job description. Ciara didn't hide her amusement. She hadn't had an instant attraction to a man since she racked her brain. A blind date a few years ago. But by the second date, Ciara's attraction had fizzled. She cleared her throat and smiled. Okay, if you take out your phone and have a seat pointing to the lounge area in the lobby, I can walk you through it. Sterling made a confident stride to a nook where two oversized chairs, a leather sofa, and a glass table awaited him. Ciara exchanged glances with the volunteer receptionist who was in her 50s. Terry Davis fanned herself as if Sterling's presence had triggered a hot flash. Right? Ciara mouthed. Sterling had them captivated. Terry recovered first, reminding Ciara that the man came to see her. Remain professional. Ciara's mind coached her while her maternal time clock shouted, Girl, flirt. Don't you want a husband? Children? Not at this moment. As she took the seat next to him to walk him through the online process, Ciara collected her thoughts to keep from swooning. As he tapped on his phone, she admired his trim nails. Clean nails and white teeth said a lot about a person. A neat, healthy lifestyle, or on the downside, self absorbed. Log on to Help 100 Families website, where the St. Louis newspaper has featured this week's family in crises, she said, as if he had forgotten the process after his previous contributions. So far, 20 families have been profiled, with 80 more to go, with 6 weeks left in the year. Sterling tapped his phone, and it came to life with a wallpaper of two women smiling. They're pretty, she gestured at the screen. Thanks, my younger sisters. I have two sisters too, Ciara said. He rested his phone on the table and gave her his full attention. That's two things we have in common. Along with a million other families that had more than one daughter. His stare dared her to disagree, so Ciara held her breath and didn't. What families would you like to support this week? We're featuring cases 15 through 18. He rubbed his chin, smoothing the hairs on his beard. Sterling propped his elbow on his knee and leaned closer. Tell me about them. May I? Ciara asked for permission before she tapped on his screen, then zoomed out to view the text on the cases. Here are their profiles if you want to read them. Nah, I like listening to your voice, Ciara. He grinned. Is it okay to call you by your first name? Yes, she faintly heard herself say as her heart pounded loudly in her ears. His smooth baritone voice had awakened her senses. This man isn't flirting with you, her mind chimed. Stay focused, girl. Case 15 is a single mother with a small son with autism. She feels lost in the system. Most of the year, they're homeless. During November and December, she stays with her sister, who has three children of her own. She's asking for socks and coats for when they have to return to the streets. He looked bewildered. Why can't she stay? Why can't she continue living with her sister? Ciara swallowed back her sorrow and glanced up. Sounds like both mothers are struggling. We don't know the situation that prohibits her from staying there permanently. Sterling's eyes seem to be waiting for hers to meet his. That's sad. His expression reminded her of a handsome 5-year-old. Emphasis, handsome. No toys? Toys don't always make the perfect gift, she explained. Possessing a master's in social work, Ciara witnessed firsthand what a 200-word write-up couldn't capture. Most families wanted to stay together with or without shelter. Of the thousands of families nominated through social agencies for Help 100 Families, many asked for the basic necessities. Would you pick case number 15? Ciara shook her head. Sorry, I'm not here to lead you to one scenario over another. It's against the rules to influence the donor. Follow your heart. I understand. That's okay. He squirted at his screen. Every week I find it harder to choose. That one right there, he said, tapping on his screen, is toying with my emotions. He scrolled down his phone and read the next case himself. Case 16 is a disabled grandmother who is rearing her three grandchildren and has no washer or dryer because of it's unsafe to send the girls, 8 and 10, to the laundromat, which is blocks away. The neighborhood is known for drug activity, and any amount to help buy another washer would be appreciated. A dryer would be a bonus because they are using space heaters. Sterling was silent. Ciara allowed him the space to reflect on his selections. Every year, 100 cases tugged at people's hearts, and every year, Ciara prayed that each family would get their requests fulfilled. While Sterling was deep in thought, Ciara observed him, slight dimple, flawless skin, and not a razor mishap in sight. And his black hair, thick and wavy, she was about to admire his lashes, a wasted endowment on a man, but glanced away so he wouldn't catch her staring. That woman's practical, and that's humbling. His voice startled her. She nodded. Yes, grandmothers are sometimes the safety pin keeping families together. She fumbled with her fingers to mask her nervousness and urge to nudge him to pick the grandma. No, you don't. Ciara never broke those rules, ever. Donations had to be made under the sole discretion of the giver without any influence from the staff. He read the last two feature profiles. Case number 18 is a 27-year-old mother of five who had been in an abusive situation after her husband was released from prison without a car. Codes for the children ages 1, 3, 7, 11, and 12 would help her when they walk to the bus stop to flee the violence when the father drinks. Woo! Sterling scratched his neck. This isn't easy. His compassion was attractive, overpowering. Ciara felt tempted to rub smoothing circles on his back. Closing his eyes, Sterling rubbed his forehead as if to ward off a pending headache. All of them are asking for so little but need so much. $300 to each family. Ciara's heart wanted to belt out a soprano note as if this man had just professed his love and had given her the rock to back it up. But she wasn't a singer. That's $1,200 and very generous, Mr. Price. She kept her excitement at bay. His last donation of $200 was split between two families, but there were other case donors that had been overlooked. A few from the previous week had yet to receive $50. Those were the ones that Ciara tracked, hoping, praying for someone to notice. And if no one did, Ciara stepped in and gave out of her pocket. Well, that is just some of chapter 1, and I hope you enjoyed this story. And I enjoy pinning stories that are relevant for the season. Waiting for Christmas, that features my son on the cover, but definitely not my fun son in the book. It's yours now. So please make sure you download and subscribe to this YouTube channel as I continue to present to you the 12 Days of Christmas. My website is patsimmons.net. I'll see you tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye.